This week's skill of the week comes from the DBT module of mindfulness. The skill is participate, and it's one of my favorite skills to help bring you into the present moment. Now first, in order to get in the present moment, you have to realize when your brain has accidentally left the present moment. Maybe this has happened to you when you're driving, and all of a sudden you get home and you're like, how did I get here? You just kind of zoned out and your brain went someplace else, probably to the future, to the past, during your drive. I like to think about it as television stations, and maybe the parents will relate to this a little more than their children, but I like to think about it as channels, channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3. So if you're watching channel 1, you're watching the past. You're reliving something that's already happened. You're rehashing a conversation that you had. You are thinking about something that someone said to you. And oftentimes when we're watching channel 1, we feel a little bit depressed or ashamed watching something that happened in the past. Sometimes though, we flip ahead and we're on channel 3. So if you ever notice yourself feeling anxious, it might be that you're watching channel 3. You're thinking, what if this happens? Or this is going to happen? Or what about that? And the way in which to stop feeling depressed or to stop feeling anxious is to turn the channel back to channel 2 and be in the present moment. And my favorite way to get in the present moment is through participating. And that is to fully engage in whatever it is that you're doing. If you are dancing, and think about this with dancing, I'm sure all of us can relate to sometimes we're dancing and we just feel the music and feel our body moving and we're having so much fun. But I bet a lot of us watching this have sometimes been dancing and not been having fun because our brain is thinking, are people judging me? I wish I was a better dancer. I'm not so good at this. Will this song ever end? This is such a bad song. Whenever we get caught in our head instead of fully participating in the moment, that's when the suffering starts. So I'm excited to be here today with Maris and JD and want to talk about how they use participate to fully pull themselves into the present moment. Let's start with Maris. Maris, tell us about how you have used participate to pull yourself into the present moment.
So interestingly enough, around the time that I was going through recovery, we stopped using our dishwasher. I don't remember the reason why, but we started having to do all our dishes by hand. And I found that that really forced me to fully participate because I couldn't also be scrolling through my phone. I couldn't be watching a movie and trying to flip through a book. I had to just be washing the dishes. And it was helpful too to be able to just have that moment to really, pause, slow down, and just do one thing at a time.
I love that. JD, tell us about a time when you used participate to pull you into the present moment, particularly while helping Kinsey through her eating disorder.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing at the time of the eating disorder for me was music, and particularly replacing any kind of other sort of like auditory consumption, like news or things like that. But with music, and then just mindfully going back to it, and you can do music, sort of wherever. And I think also another place that it's really helpful when you're really in the throes of this, taking a shower. Like taking a shower, to me, I'm a water person as well, so really getting into that moment of the hot water and just feeling the relaxation and all of that sort of thing, that was really helpful at the time for me.
I love that you mentioned that water one. That has always been a big one for me, and to the point where my mom will say, like, you need to go take a shower. Not because I'm dirty, but because I need to calm down.
Absolutely, yeah. And very often I found that when solutions will come to me as well. And you're not thinking about them, you're thinking about something else, and then all of a sudden, like, the answer pops into your head.